Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. So same story like we have it with Bitcoin. If you attended yesterday the overall live stream, then you know that, or then you knew already, or you know already the wave count and the latest ideas and scenarios. But then again, even if you watched just yesterday's videos, you knew already about this scenario that could unfold, where it would most likely take us. One of the best advantages or the biggest advantages of the Elliott Wave method, that if you move from one scenario into another scenario, then you pretty much know already where you are. You have your plans ready. Yeah, you've got the roadmaps already on the chart, and we give our best to identify the 2 or 3 most likely ones out of the, you could say, infinity of possibilities that the market involves, that the market includes, the market can offer. Because in theory, everything can always happen. Anything can happen. It could go to the moon straight away in a day. But again, is it likely? No. So that's why we give our best to identify the 2 or 3 most likely roadmaps for you here. And if one doesn't work, then the other one should work with a very, very high likelihood. And I think we are seeing that now. So if we had a really good week with identifying some of these key support and trend reversal areas here, it worked out 4 times, so 4 or 5 times really, really, really good. We turned around here. That was one of our trend reversal areas. We turned around here. I did hide them now because they just will mess up the chart. Had one here, the resistance area, and then one here, but it was the right decision to give you that one only in orange. As you know, orange, or hopefully you know, orange is higher risk. Yeah, higher risk means it's at higher risk of failing, and it could very well easily break, and probabilities are getting fairly similar. So yeah, hopefully, depending on if that's your style, you had a good time trading these ones here, and now we are heading down. And again, just to know what you need to look out for, we obviously talked about the wedge in the last video, which is a bearish pattern, so that broke down. Yeah. But also when one of these support areas breaks, and I think just to put that onto the chart again, it was this one, yeah, in orange, but here on the ETH chart, we didn't have the 88.7 activated. So here it shows you, as always, when something breaks below the 78.6 retracement, it's a warning. So you can use that to your advantage. Yeah. So a lot of people only follow one scenario, which is not what you should do. Yeah. So best, as I said, the greatest advantage of Elliott is that it shows you different roadmaps. And if one shows it doesn't work anymore, the price is following the other one, the market wants to follow the other scenario, then you can simply switch. And if you lose the support, yeah, which indicated a possible bounce to the upside here, and it tried yesterday, but when it then failed and it broke below the 78.6, basically near the invalidation point, then it would give you a great short setup. Now, this is then, however, not a pullback trade anymore. If you look at it from a short point of view, it would be a breakout trade. But still, this is sort of what you need to watch out for. I sometimes get the feeling many people don't know what to watch out for. But if you get always 2 or 3 scenarios, and if one doesn't work, you will be able to move into the other one. Use that for your advantage, because it's very simple. If let's say if a long setup fails, you immediately get a short setup. Okay, so it's an opportunity. That's, I believe, what everybody needs to work on, their mindset with regards to that. Because sometimes people feel lost when one scenario doesn't work and the other one works. Even though I feel, this was one of the communities that was best prepared here for those 2, because I was very clear about those 2 in the last video. So I think a lot of people probably use this. But either way, first of all, that's what stops are for. And think of it as an opportunity, yeah? And knowing your environment in this space is the is winning half the battle. That's why be careful following those that give you only one scenario. And I really mean that not to talk negatively about others, and I wouldn't mention any names, but it's in these markets, which can change on an hourly basis, you need to know 2 or 3 scenarios. Yeah. Also, in Elliott Wave, part of Elliott Wave is always to have at least 2. Yeah, you can't have only one scenario. Anyone who gives you only one, what do you do if that fails? Well, what do you do? You have no idea. So there you go. We are heading down in this ABC structure now. And yeah, we talked about the idea that this 5-wave move of the November lows, could then be finished. This is now what I assume, but I'm still open to other ideas, and we talk about that in a minute. But for now, we're following this ABC structure to the downside. I did highlight that in the live stream yesterday already. A wave down, B wave up, yeah. C wave down, we're now probably here in a C wave. And then we've got Fibonacci support areas in this region here. Sort of starting, I mean, we've got structural support starting in the area of the previous wave 4 low here of the 13th of Feb. That's around 1490, 1500. In addition to that, we've got the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement at 1488. We've got another 38.2 Fib retracement at 1480 based on how I measure it. Yeah, so you have a lot of confluence in this region. So I would expect some kind of a bounce from here. Possibly going all the way down to around about 1417, 1415, yeah? Because if I go to the right-hand side, also here, 1410, 1417, you could say this is a larger sort of range between 1490 and 1410, and you've got some more support areas within it. So there should be a lot of support, and I intend to scale into that area there. Maybe we'll also reactivate my grid bot that I deactivated yesterday when it came down. No, I didn't have one for ETH, but for Bitcoin. And I would expect a bounce from there. Yeah, because the way I see it, if we really finish this wave 1, then it's either like, you know, we're coming down in an ABC and would see either a rally already to new all-time, or not, but to new highs, okay? Which I would be skeptical about, but certainly what I would imagine could happen is ABC. This would be the A wave of the larger wave 2 correction, where we would eventually come down lower, but this is the area where you're normally sort of between the 50% and the 38.2 Fib, where you expect some kind of a bounce that could be in a larger B wave, and then coming down in C of 2 to a price lower than the A wave. And again, this is the area or the scenario where we'll get some clarity about, is the bear market over or not? Because if we hold the green support area, then we can move to new all-time highs eventually, okay? But if it fails, it's a bit of a make or break point here, then we are continuing with the bear market and probably could see Ethereum retest $1,000. What's the other possibility? Yeah, so that is that this 4th wave was never finished, that the 4th wave will end now somewhere, that of this wave 3 high, we only came down in an A wave. This was an overshooting B wave, and we're now coming down, no, again, wrong, 1 second, W, X, and this is a Y wave in an A, B, C, okay? So in the short term though, there is no difference between the first scenario and this one here, because we should either way get a bounce somewhere here, yeah, and then the only difference would be what happens afterwards, because in this scenario where wave 4 is basically ending now, the wave 4 that we thought ended already on the 13th of Feb, where we had some good trades down here, that this is now resulting in a 5th wave, which I complained about was a little bit short. It's valid, but it's a little bit short. So maybe we get that 5th wave and only after that start the wave 2. But this is what remains to be seen. The story is currently being written, and it doesn't really matter if you scale in here. And again, support areas for both scenarios should be sort of in this region here. But that's sort of best what I can tell at the moment. If we zoom in a little bit, I would say we're coming down now in this C wave. The C wave looks like that we have completed a 3rd wave overnight. Did highlight that on the live stream, that these strong moves often look like a 3rd wave. We are probably now in a 4th wave, so maybe another couple of hours or a few hours of sideways movement. Yeah, you often get that after such a strong move, that you get such a fourth wave correction. They're always boring and tend to be sideways or shallow. I've highlighted the resistance area for the fourth wave on the chart. It goes all the way up to 1601. If we get above 1601, it's basically, you could say, a warning or a hint that this move down is already finished. I don't see it at the moment. I would rather say we get one more wave down into the area I indicated. Watch, however, for we can also double check just by looking the micro count here and trying to establish targets. So looking at just sort of the ideal length for the fifth wave, we can expect some initial support at 1525, 1492 as well. But again, this also points at this 1490 area down there, maybe all the way down to 1410 roughly, yeah, into that region down there. So these are key targets for a fifth wave: 1525. 1492, 1440, but you can see that most of the fibs really point down into this key support area we highlighted. Another way of measuring would be to take here the entire length of that A wave, go to the high of the B, and then 1495, also here the 1-to-1 ratio, yeah. So there is a lot that's pointing into this area, starting basically at 1490, 1500 sort of, you know. So yeah, one more wave could finish this move down. Could. So we always need to see how do we actually react to these support areas instead of just aping in. I intend to buy into this area, but I'm very conscious of we have no reversal signal when we enter this area, so position sizes would reflect that. Okay, that's my update about Ethereum. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.